Okay, so this is part two of the attack on our Lumia phone committed by the Anglicans, more theological Bible college students. And this attack removed thumbnails from video. So this attack was, I showed in the previous video what the attack was doing, and it at one point the video was working fine, and then at the beginning of March here it stopped working. And what I mean is the thumbnails were there previous to a certain date, and then after March they were no longer working anymore. So obviously someone had tampered with the video. The thumbnails are available and appear on the file when it's in the camera's the Lumia's default saving location for video, which is the SD card, pictures, and camera roll. But anytime you take the video and move it to somewhere else, the thumbnail is lost. This never used to be the case before. It used to always work until March. There are many reasons for doing this. One reason is just to annoy and infuriate and frustrate. Another one is to probe and to dominate the phone and to explore the phone and have a reason to explore the phone. Another is to explore how the different attack methods that they have and the different capacities that they have. Another reason is just to simply cause plausible deniability for the main person that's doing the attacks. And what I mean by that is plausible deniability. Well, there's one person next door. He's a computer scientist, and he's been attacking me since the beginning. His wife might know about computers as well, but he's been the main attacker, and it's the unit right beside me that is the main springboard for almost all the attacks on the computers and networks. And I've been very vocal about it, and I went to the police, and I've been talking about it on YouTube now, so I'm very vocal. So what they started doing several months ago when I started talking about the attacks, what they would do is they would get him to leave for a period of time, and then they would mount an attack of some sort. So then he would come back, and then he would be all like, and then everybody would, join in on it, and all like, hi, good day. And the whole point was that the attack was committed when he was gone. Now, these attacks, just because he's gone doesn't mean anything. He can write the script when he's here. And he's got tons of friends here that are helping him. They're qualified to do it too. There's lots of other very technically accomplished students here. It's not just him, but he's the one that started like the deauthentication attacks on our wireless, and he's the one that's next door, and he's the one that's closest to us. So I mean, the attacks are going to come through his unit, and he has been guilty since day one. I know for a fact that he's been committing these crimes against us with the help of his friends. But that's the whole reason he's in that unit. I talk about that in another story. The property manager here, or in another video, the property manager here is very clear and very careful with who he puts in this building and where he puts them. They want this unit. They want to buy this unit, the More Theological Bible College. So they put him there to harass the computer, or the people who live here, to harass and attack the computers. Plus, I don't think he's interested in Bible, teaching the Bible at all. I think that he wants to be on, like, I've said it before, like some hit squad, a digital hit squad. And I think that he wants his job is to like attack people like he's been doing to us, plant data, retrieve data, attack. For whom? Well, for the government, for the Anglican Church, mostly, and well, both. There's the ties between the Anglican Church and the government are very, very close. So I mean, they want guys like that can do the tamper with computers and tamper with data, to retrieve data, to delete data. Look at, for example, a perfect example is Van de Gould. He was charged with a $30 million tax evasion. I think it was more than that, actually. I thought it was 300 million. Anyways, let's just say 30 million. Tax evasion and putting the money in offshore accounts. Well, it's stuffed up. The federal police stuffed up in their investigation somehow. Maybe they lost data, and maybe like a guy like my next door neighbor here, James McFooley, maybe I had a guy like him had something to do with it, or a guy trained like him, and I think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to have that kind of position, where he goes and gets a fellow Anglican out of a jam by tampering with data, tampering with court data, tampering with computers owned by the lawyers that they're using to present the case with. And this attack is really powerful, and there's no evidence, so you can basically attack anybody and steal from anybody you want. So after I became very vocal about him being the one that was attacking and him being the one that was involved in these crimes along with his friends, but he was the main staging point for the attacks is his unit. Then everybody started, protecting him and covering his ass. And this is an example. And so many times before, our computers or our networks or our phones have been attacked, and he's been gone. So they try to make it look like he's innocent, and he's not. But they try to make it look like he's innocent. Another reason for the attack might be just to anger and instigate. See, since I started talking about these crimes, they've fabricated this story that I'm this violent, aggressive person, and now they're trying to prove it. So every single chance they get, they push and they push and they push and they push, and they'll attack your phone, they'll attack your computer, they'll harass you in some other way, and then they'll walk up to you, go, "Good day, hi, nice day, isn't it?" And they get their women to do it a lot too. They'll get their wives or whatever, "Hi," and then when you act in disgust, when you want to, they know that I want nothing to do with them. They know that they disgust me, but they'll still do it. Then they act all hurt. When you act in disgust, when you respond in disgust, like, they act all hurt and offended, as if you hurt their feelings, when the whole point of their exercise was to instigate you. And they've been doing that since I moved in as well. I don't even bother talking to them anymore. I don't want to talk to them anymore. I just walk by when they say hello. I just completely ignore them. There's no point. So there could be lots of reasons for the attack on the phone. But I think one of the main reasons is like to probe, to see what they can do, to instigate, to irritate, to to let you know that you're under their thumb, and they control your phone and they see everything that you're doing. And the other one is to do it while he's away, or do it while he's at school, or do it while he's at a seminar. And then he comes back and they say that it wasn't him that did it. Another thing too that's interesting is that the building behind us, the door was open. And I think that the Anglicans own other buildings too, other units. And the door in that unit behind us was open, so they could very well have one of their units open the door and say, well, someone broke in and someone attacked from over there. So I mean, they're very sneaky that way, and they've been like this since I've known them, and nothing changes. They're sneaky, they're conniving, they cover up their crimes, and they conspire together with each other to commit crimes. And I caught them in several crimes that they've committed, and now they're so arrogant and with a sense of entitlement and a sense that they're untouchable and protected by politicians and their church, that they basically are doing anything they want anytime they want, and they know that nothing can happen to them, so they just kind of smirk at you, grin. arrogant, cocky grin. And then they go to church and visit with Mike Barrett on Sunday.